You know full well in listening to the program over the last little while, we are a very big supporter of the Niagara Children's Centre. And we, of course, have been a big part of the Help Kids Shine campaign since the beginning of these, the fundraisers over the years. I was at the very first one years ago, and we are so pleased again to be a part of it this year. When we were introduced to this year's ambassadors, we were also introduced to my next guest, who's 11 and an ambassador for the Children's Center this year. Scott Cantor joins me this morning. Hello, Scott. How are you, bud?
Good.
You know, it's funny. He walked in. Brigitte, his mother, is with him. Good morning, Brigitte. Welcome.
Good morning.
I walked in, I said, so you get the day off from school, which you should get when you do interviews. We're going to make that a rule here at the radio station. If you do an interview on the morning show, you get the day off from school or the day off from work. Like that idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Let's talk about what you have to do with the Children's Center as an ambassador this year. Let me just begin with Brigitte just for a second. Okay. Back to his birth.
Yes.
Tell me what happened and why you ended up going to the Children's Center.
Well, unfortunately, we had a little bit of an issue when Scott was born.
Yep.
And that caused him to have a stroke. So we didn't realize till he was about 9 months old that there was an issue. And that prompted some doctor's appointments.
Yep.
And then we got a referral to the Children's Center, which guided us and put us on the right path to getting Scott to where he is today.
Scott, what do you like about going to the Children's Center? I mean, I have a grandson who's been there. I have two grandsons who've been there, and a nephew who's been there as well. Tell me what you like about it.
Well, it's fun, it's enjoyable, the people are really nice, and you can count on them. It's not like, okay, here you go, you're done here. If anything happens, you can't come back to us. They're going to take care of you till the end.
You trust them?
Yes.
What have you learned at the Children's Center? What have they done to help you, do you think?
Well, around a certain age, I realized that I would never not have cerebral palsy. So one thing is they've helped me mentally.
Yep.
So, like, I was sad about that I realized that older, and it wasn't that good, so they helped me very much with that.
You now do hockey, right?
Mm-hmm. Used to.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yep.
You play the piano?
Yep.
And a lot of this you probably wouldn't have been able to do if you hadn't been to the Children's Center at one time, right? So, what are you hoping to do with your life? What do you want to do with your life?
Oh, I want to be an architect, and I want to...
Wow. You're setting the bar high, my friend. I wanted to be an architect. I couldn't do it. Well done. What else do you want to do?
Well, I want to have a family, first of all. And two, here's one thing I said at the speech at the winery on the 17th of April, is that even if I had a child with a disability, that I'd be able to count on the Children's Center, and I wouldn't have to worry about that.
So you go out and you speak on behalf of the Children's Center, right?
Well, that was one time. But...
Yeah, but what were you telling people? What were you hoping to get from them?
Well, first of all, it was actually a thank you to the donors for the Children's Center.
Right.
And it was also about how they helped me and what they did to help me. So, for example, my right arm didn't really work that well when I was born. So they did lots of physiotherapy to get it to work.
I look at, the things that you've been through, the casting stuff, the Botox treatments, which I know are not easy because my nephew's been through them, and I know how tough that is. You would never know today, talking to you and listening to you, everything that you've been through. And this is the reason why we want people to contribute to the Children's Center. So if you had a chance, and you do right now, to ask people to help all of the other children and families who go to the Children's Center, what would you say, Scott?
Well, I would say that, one, it would be very kind of you to do that. And the fact that you're helping so many children just by making a donation or, volunteering maybe. It's all going to help no matter what. It's going to help a children. It might even save a child's life.
Wow. You're only 11?
Yes.
Wow. How tough has it been, Mom?
funny you should ask that,
Yeah.
because we had the privilege to speak at the winery to thank the donors, and it did bring back some memories that maybe we kind of put on the back burner a little bit. But obviously seeing Scott and what he's growing into be helps make those bad memories go away. But it was definitely a very challenging time.
What did it mean to be able to have that help here in the backyard without having to drive to Toronto or drive to Hamilton?
Incredible. Yeah. I mean, there's so much support there too, not just the physical part as well, right? We had the behavioral and emotional support, and just the inclusion with other families that knew what we were going through as well.
So much of what we've talked about that Scott has gone through costs money. I mean, a lot of those therapies, the people who help, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it does cost money.
Yep.
And every tiny little bit of help that we get from the community goes a long way to making sure other families have that help right here too.
Exactly.
Scott, when I redo my house, I want you to be the architect. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you realize this means a lot of science and stuff, right? And math.
Yeah.
Are you good at that stuff?
I think so.
He's not quite sure. Is he good at that?
He's very good at it, yes. Very smart little guy.
Scott, just tell everybody to help. Just tell everybody what it means to every child at the Children's Center.
Well, it means that you want to help, and it also means that you care.
Well, that's what it means.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, it means that you care. And I know there are a lot of people who do care, who kind of wait for a little while before they help. But right now, listening to Scott, listening to Brigitte's story, this is the moment that you can care. Just go to the website. You can go to our website. It'll take you directly there. The easiest way, go to 610cktb.com or the Help Kids Shine campaign. You can Google that, and we get all kinds of ways that you can help. You can join monthly. You can join with single donation. And you can have your house designed by Scott Cantor as the years go on. Thank you, bud.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.